Peace, light, and love. Thank you for getting with the pretty priestess yet again. I appreciate your presence. I am Shakesha, a divine priestess, and this is all about empowering our self-image. We use beauty, life, and magic in our conversation. And I really and sincerely hope you all had a beautiful, beautiful holiday. I know I did. I finally got to go back home before they tried to put us on another lockdown or whatever with the new Omnirom or Omarion or whatever in the hell this is going on out here in these streets. And I am thankful that I have not been afflicted yet again with this bug. I know that I felt like I had something like months ago where I was like really miserable. So the struggle is definitely real, and a special ashe to all of those that have lost their lives as a result of this. And definitely not a game out here in these streets. I don't know what the fuck, but you know, the struggle is definitely real out here. And I don't know how and what the logistics are of this whole situation, but there's definitely something that's going on. I can feel it in my throat, you know. Not saying that I'm going to be the person that's going to get in line and fall in line, because I really need to pay attention to what's going on out here in these streets. So I'm definitely doing that. But within that, I was still able to get out and visit some family and some friends and have a beautiful time around this holiday season, which is a time where all of us, we like to get together and we like to do what we do. We connect, we had some drinks, we had some laughs, and remember the good old days. I was also able to connect with some old friends that I haven't seen in shit years. And it was really good to be able to get out, connect, and touch base with some of those. Some of these old friends I still keep in touch. Social media has been like a wonderful tool to help you to really keep those connections that you had in the past still strong and strengthened. And thanks to that, I was definitely able to do that. And then, you know, I don't really hold any expectations on being able to reconnect with friends, but there's some people, it's a soul group thing, and you know it's a little deeper than just your average, we grew up together, friendship, I see you, it's what's up, I show you love and keep it moving. There's some people that you connect with, and when you see them many years later, the energy, the vibe is still the same. Ain't nothing changed but the weather. And that's pretty much what I got to experience this time. Doing this Venus retrograde, I was holding the expectation that there was going to be a whole bunch of dramatic family shit. But in fact, I was surprised. I think with this being a retrograde, it was allowing us to really re-examine our friendships, re-examine our relationships, and really give us a really good idea of who's about us, who is connected to us, who we're connected to, and really start making those decisions on exactly where they stand in your life. And so this was just a pleasantly surprising holiday season where I was able to do that. I really, for the majority of the holiday season, because I got in, I got out. You know, I'm a visiting quality type of person and not so much quality, right? And so with visiting, I get in there, we visit, we have a good time, and then I keep it moving because I'm a to myself type of person. And I know there's a lot of us out here that really charge up by spending that time alone and having that solitude and being just away from the rest of the crowd and everything. It's like overwhelming to be around people for too long. And that's who I am. And I was going to get my grandbabies, and I had all of these lofty plans about how I was going to go and grab them up and everything. That ended up not really working out. I'm not built for that shit anymore. I love my grandchildren. I'll give my life for them. But when they get over here, I'm happy to see them. And after a while, I'm ready for them to go home. And it's not because there's no love there, because it's all love all day. I'm just in a place right now, I ain't built for that shit no more. So that's where it was with that. But anyway, happy holidays, happy new year. I was making every plan to do absolutely nothing but sit around and get my drink on, get my toke on, and get my eat on for the whole holiday season, and just kick it and chill and just be in that mode. But then I started getting all of these downloads and shit, and I'm like, what? We don't even have class. And so that's the other thing. So I'm taking this astrology class, because remember, I'm always talking some shit about astrology, and I really don't know too much about it. So right now, through my self-invested group, we're taking an additional astrology course for those of us that's interested in that. And I certainly am. I was so excited to be able to take this. This is astrology with a different type of spin to it. And I like this group that I deals with right here, because they open the door for you to bring new ideas, new theories, and you can bring that shit to the table. And it's all about expansion, as opposed to you just being taught a system that we know and this is how we do it, but more of a think tank where everybody gets a seat at the table and gets an opportunity to kind of process it in the way that they see it. And shit like that is special to me. Even though I am definitely one of those people that'll keep my mouth shut, sit in the back of the class and take some notes, something about knowing that how you're processing what's going on is really valued and really sought after. It brings a special element to that learning experience. So I'm definitely excited, and I give an extra shout out to Miss Blue and Brother Bilal for definitely looking out for a sister like me that really wants to get this and understand it, and more just not just on the energetic level, but really understand like how to read these charts and how to connect with the energy in a way where I'm proficient enough to really be of assistance to somebody, you know? So this is some dope shit right here all day. And so I was talking in class, and like, you know, for me, I start to think about some stuff, and then I'll sit with it for a while, and then I'm unable to really articulate like how I'm absorbing it. It takes me a little bit of time. Right now, I'm looking at this theory that I got here, and I've been getting a lot of insight, a lot of wisdom, a lot of guidance with how this energy flows, right? The luminary theory is what I like to call this. And so for me, I'm a moon person. I got a lot of Cancer placements, so the moon is definitely my jam. And when I get into a lot of my spiritual work, definitely full moon time, new moon time, moon time is my time to shine right indeed. And so I started looking at the specific planets that we have within our solar systems and the different energies that's connected to them. But one of the things that really stood out to me that I noticed the most is that there are moons around each of those different planets. And so we all know that the sun and the moon are our luminaries, right? And the sun, it gives off that whole, the illumination of your ego and your personality and how you show up in the world. And the moon luminary is all about the wisdoms that we should consider, the things that we ain't really dealing with. It's more of a receptive energy, a feminine energy, right? And so they say that the moon is masculine because it's more expansive, and the sun is masculine because it's more expansive, and the moon is a more receptive energy. But those energies are luminary energies, which highlight each of those specific traits that we need to look at. So I'm looking at the different planets within within our solar system, right? And I'm noticed, let's just pick a random planet like Uranus. And I do believe that they were I heard someone speaking about Uranus being in retrograde for some, or whatever. I'm not really sure. I didn't look into that because that's not really the direction that I was going in. But it would be nice to know. So I'm going to definitely make a note to look into that. However, what I did notice is that Uranus has 27 moons. And there's wisdom, there's illumination in that. Uranus is an energy of innovation and change and evolution and independence. It also holds that energy of surprise and disruptions and awakenings and liberation and rebellion, right? And so with Uranus having 27 moons, I went back into the numerology aspect of that and what the 2 and the 7 is all about. And when we break that down, we know that in numerology is typically broken down into one number, right? And we know that 2 and 7 is 9 within itself. And so I thought to myself, that's interesting, right? So the number 9 is the number of completion, of attainment, when you achieve something, right? And it's also within the tarot system connected to number 9 is connected to the Hermit, which lets you know that alone time is really productive. It's about, taking in and withdrawing and everything. And alone time being really productive for you at that time. So this is a time to kind of get away from everybody and, do your own thing or get that meditative time in, right? But it also lets you know that, being around, interacting with folks and everything once in a while is good for the soul, is good for the spirit. And so when you go away by yourself, you develop this healing energy, and then you get out around people and you're able to really be most effective when you're interacting in this world, right? But check it though. Now let's look at this Uranus energy, which is all about innovation and change and evolution, and the number 9, which is connected to the energy of completion, of attainment, right? And it being connected to the Hermit card, being alone. So then you looking at that, we're noticing that there's 27. And then I can even look at the numerology of the number 2, which is the number of balance, of union. That's a receptive number as well. And then the number 7, which is the number of consciousness. I couldn't think of it for a second there. And I'm a number 7 energy. Consciousness and spirituality and wisdom. It's also about getting deeper lessons within this lifetime. The number 7 is connected to the Chariot. And the number, the 2 is connected to the High Priestess energy. I like to look at the tarot system now because it helps me to really dive a little deeper into the meaning of the number, to get a little bit more of how that energy flows with that number, right? But 2 and 7, the High Priestess and the Chariot, gets us into the number 9, which is the Hermit. The Hermit. The number 9 is all about attainment. So the deeper wisdom that I'm pulling out when we have a placement in Uranus is definitely letting us know about how innovation and how change is to be most effective by looking at the luminaries and the message that the luminaries deliver to us. It brings you into the number 9, which lets you know that that's all about attainment and completion, and the things that is obligating us to really dive deeper into is more of that integrity piece and using wisdom in order to navigate that whole energy of innovation, right? And then I'm looking at that, and so I don't know for sure. My Uranus is placed in Libra, right? So then we look at the energy of Libra. Now let me get into, where's my cards at? Because I like to kind of pick that apart. So now let's look at, let's say we got the charts pulled and everything. I kind of memorize where most of my placements are, not all of them. So, but I do know that my Uranus is in Libra, and Libra is all about balance, but you also want to look at the energies that it's associated with being friendly and happy. It's also about partnerships. It's also about being just and fair, that justice piece, right? And then Uranus being that innovative energy. So if that Libra is in Uranus, right, we're talking about my energy of balance and being happy and being in partnerships and being able to perceive is in alignment with the energy of innovation and change and evolution and independence. But the deeper wisdom connected to that, the luminary wisdom that's connected to that, with the 27 moons that's connected to the planet of Uranus, is all about taking that time to be alone and getting productive and building that wisdom and building that integrity. That's what it's going to take right there. How about that shit? Then I started looking around. Let's see what else we got. I got my Jupiter energy, right? My Jupiter energy is under the sign of Aries. Let me see if I can find my Aries. We already know that Aries is that energy that's connecting us with passion, right? That's that fierce innovation, impulsive energy. It can also be impatient, but it's also brutally honest, definitely brave, and a headstrong type of energy, right? So working with that Aries energy, having that fierce impulsiveness in the planet of Jupiter, I'm losing my word, in the planet of Jupiter, and Jupiter being connected to luck and growth and expansion. Jupiter has 79 moons. Now we know 7 and 9 is 16, and 1 and 6 is 7. That brings us all the way back into that consciousness route, right? That number of consciousness, of spirituality, and gaining deeper wisdom and deeper knowledge, right? And having a more enriched experience in this life. That Aries being impatient, impulsive, and headstrong might want to be examined a little bit by being a little bit more conscious and looking deeper into things, right? For your growth and expansion and your fortune. Not just jumping all in this shit and just making it happen. And I will definitely do that shit because I don't give a damn. However, this is saying to be, this is something you might want to pay attention to. This is the area that's going to illuminate. Now, we know that Jupiter in Aries is already, because it's a fierce, it's a passion, it's an action type of energy. That Jupiter in Aries is people that's about it. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Master P, who's always on there talking about this and that and the other, people that's about their damn business, that's on that shit, relentless about doing that shit, that's some Jupiter in Aries type energy or something similar. Ain't trying to say because I ain't pulled that mass chart. However, where I am trying to say, but that's what that energy looks like. That's what that energy looks like. Somebody that don't mess around about theirs, just out there going for theirs, that's just headstrong into that energy, right? But the wisdom, the luminary, the thing that we may want to look into, right, is that 7 energy, that chariot, which is about deepening your consciousness, really paying attention to these lessons that's learned in life so that you can do that with passion, with bravery, and really be able to charge forward in that forward motion. In that forward motion, with that Aries energy, you really want to pay attention to the lesson that life is trying to show you. So there's the wisdom that's tied up in that. And of course, we talking about that 79. The number 9, we know that a hermit energy, that being alone is really going to be good for you to get some reflection time in and everything. 7 and 9 is 16. 1 is that unity energy. 6 is that harmony energy. There's so many factors we talking about right here. So many factors we're talking about right here that you can get by looking at the luminaries within the planetary energies. So this is another way for us to look at how the moon energies, how the luminaries are affecting the planetary energies. This is a way for us to really look deeper into how our energetic alignments are on those charts. So I'm very excited about that because this was a total download. I never even bothered to look to see if that shit was in Google or if somebody else came up with that, because I'm playing with this theory because I'm looking to see all of the different ways that we can really get victory while we out here in these streets. The best way for us to become our greatest version is to be aware of all of these blind spots, and how we can get the victory is right here in these charts, in the stars, and in the cosmos. I am super excited about working with this right here. I wanted to get in here and share real quick. Get back to enjoying your holiday, family, and I will get back maybe next week and just talk a little bit more about how I was able to fuck with it just a little bit by going through some of my family's charts and maybe some other folks' charts if I got time for it, so that I can really gain some victory on how to navigate the different vicissitudes that's within our life right in here. I am excited about getting this in right here. So, unfortunately, I have no class to share that with, but I am looking forward to the opportunity of sharing that when I get into class, because right here and right now, we got something that can definitely help us to gain wisdom and dive a lot deeper into the energies within our cosmic charts. So I'm going to call it the day. Peace and light, peace and love, family. I will talk to you again next week.